Picture this. It's 1941, and an entire room, I'm talking walls, furniture, everything, all made of precious amber and gold, just vanishes from a palace. Today, it's valued at $500 million. They called it the eighth wonder of the world, and its disappearance is hands down one of history's greatest unsolved cases.
So that's the big question, right? It's what has kept treasure hunters and historians completely obsessed for almost 80 years. You have this absolute masterpiece of art, a treasure that's almost priceless, and it just ceases to exist in the middle of a war. How does something so huge, so magnificent simply disappear off the face of the earth?
To really get a handle on the scale of this loss, you just have to look at the number. The estimated value today is a staggering $500 million. We're not just talking about a nicely decorated room here. This was a treasure of almost unimaginable worth.
And this legendary treasure, it has a name. This is the story of the Amber Room.
Okay, so what was the Amber Room exactly? It wasn't some little artifact you could put in a museum case. The incredible treasure was the room itself. The walls, the decorations, the whole shebang. I mean, just try to wrap your head around the sheer audacity of it. Imagine stepping into a room where the walls literally glowed. We're talking 6 tons of intricately carved amber panels, all backed with shimmering gold leaf and mirrors that would just catch and amplify every little bit of light. It's really no surprise they called it a wonder of the world.
And the level of detail was just breathtaking. This wasn't just slapping some amber on a wall. No, this was a series of incredibly detailed mosaics, showing myths and royal symbols. People who saw it said it created this warm, almost living atmosphere. It was a true masterpiece that took a whole decade to finish.
You know, the room also had this incredible history long before it vanished. It started out as a Prussian treasure, but then became this huge symbol of a powerful alliance when it was gifted to Russia's Peter the Great. For 200 years, it was the absolute crown jewel of the Catherine Palace, just dazzling anyone lucky enough to lay eyes on it.
All right, let's get to the most dramatic turning point in this story. For more than 2 centuries, this room was perfectly safe. But in 1941, with World War II just tearing Europe apart, its fate changed forever.
The Soviets, they knew how valuable it was, so they tried this clever but kind of desperate move. They tried to hide the entire room behind plain wallpaper. Yeah, it didn't work. When the Nazis found it, this wasn't some random looting. It was a targeted, systematic operation. With this chilling efficiency, they took apart the entire 6-ton masterpiece in just 36 hours, packed it all up into 27 crates, and shipped it off to Königsberg Castle in Germany.
So for a few years, we actually knew exactly where it was. It was on display in a German castle. But this is where the facts stop, and the real mystery starts.
The trail goes completely cold in a single moment of absolute chaos. It's 1945. Allied bombs are just raining down on Königsberg, and the castle where the Amber Room is being kept, it burns to the ground. And in the middle of all that fire and destruction, those 27 crates are just gone.
And that moment splits the whole story into 2 main theories that people still argue about today. First, was it simply destroyed? A priceless treasure turned to nothing but ash in the fires of war? Or, theory number 2, was it smuggled out in the final desperate days of the war and hidden somewhere, still waiting in the dark to be found?
That second possibility, the idea that it might still be out there, has fueled an obsession that is still going strong today. The hunt for the Amber Room is a whole story in and of itself.
For more than 3/4 of a century, you've had people, professionals, amateurs, you name it, scouring for this thing. They're digging through declassified Nazi documents, hoping for a shipping order or a secret memo. They're exploring old, abandoned mines and secret bunkers all across Europe, all of them chasing the ghost of the Amber Room. Now, while the original is still lost, its legacy is very much alive. In 2003, an absolutely stunning replica was finished and put right back where the original used to be, in the Catherine Palace. It took decades of work, with craftsmen using old black and white photos to get every single detail right. It's incredible, but it's also this constant, beautiful reminder of the priceless original whose fate we still don't know.
Which brings us right back to the ultimate question. What really happened to it? Is it buried under tons of rock in some forgotten mine? Was it completely and totally destroyed in that fire? Or, and this is the most tantalizing idea of all, is it sitting somewhere right now, hidden away in a private collection?
In the end, we just don't know.
The true story of the Amber Room's final days was swallowed up by the chaos of a world at war, and all it left us with are questions, and one of the most compelling, frustrating, and fascinating unsolved mysteries